Morning. I am, as some of you know, I follow the teachings of Jesus Christ. Christian, if you want to call it that. I'm not sure about the whole Adam and Eve, and I'm not that. To be honest, it's not where we come from; it's where we're going that concerns me. But I am more and more convinced that if the Adam and Eve thing is true and everything it is and that way, that they were not offered, Adam and Eve weren't offered an apple. It was a hallucinogenic mushroom. I've done a lot of hallucinogenics. I've done peyote. I've done all sorts of magic mushrooms. I've done shed loads of LSD, and there is a big difference between plant-based hallucinogenics and chemical ones like LSD, acid, and things like that. I've done things like MDMA and ecstasy. Another drug that I'll admit I have no problem in the use of them at all. It's down to the individual if they want to do that. I personally believe in using such things as MDMA with 14-year-old upwards people with autism, Asperger's, and other things like in that area. I really do. The main reason I believe in this, and if I ever need pain relief in the sense of like, I would never, ever, ever, ever again go back on anything chemical based. I would grow cannabis and smoke it, and I have no problem with the use of cannabis. Some may say, well, yeah, there's a lot of that skunk about. Well, skunk is a man-made. I wouldn't smoke. One of the reasons I gave up smoking weed is because it was all very high THC, and I'm 100% convinced it was invented in some CIA lab for this very purpose. It's called cannabis psychosis, and it's biological warfare. The amount of movers and groovers now I've got this is incredible. This really has got big, and it's due to the fact that there's too much THC in it. So I've got no problem with all of them. They are a purpose. I do actually believe in giving heroin addicts heroin and not methadone or anything like that, or chemical based. Against if there's any drug that I am anti so much, and it's pharmaceuticals. Just watch the TV program on Netflix called The Pharmacist, and you'll see why. And the main reason they won't use what I've just explained with like mushrooms and all that, but because there's no money in it. You can grow your own weed. You can grow your own mushrooms. That pharmaceutical world is about 5 to 7 different companies, and it's trillions of dollars being made every year. So, should we throw hallucinogenics and other of that in the bin? No, not at all. Seriously, no. It's the last thing. A Professor Nutt was asked to write a paper for the government about addiction, and to write about, and he came back with the most addictive drugs are alcohol and tobacco, which are actually the joint third biggest killer and most addictive drug. And the government sacked him. And he's been promoting the use of hallucinogenic mushrooms with people with depression. I've just been listening to Gabay Mante's Myth of Norm, and he talks about it as well, and the use of these drugs. See, they're non-addictive. I'm sorry to say to you, you are a pound note, a euro, or a dollar to the medical world. Here's a little fact. Unless you've been sectioned under the Mental Health Act, you cannot inquire in what medication you're given or what's been done to you. Any other, because you haven't, if anybody medical worldwide prescribes you a drug, you're allowed to go by law, legally, these are the things you're allowed to do. is this drug medication got side effects, and what are they? 2, is it addictive? And 3, no, I don't want it. You can refuse any medicine you want and ask for alternative. You can. You're allowed to do that. That is perfectly legal. Because you'll find most of your medical will turn around and say, well, I agree with you. The amount of GPs and doctors that believe in the use of heroin with heroin addicts. I've even had a Tory MP believe in that. And when I asked him about weed, he said, well, what's the difference between that and smoking? Your 4 top drugs, big drug killers and the most addictive drugs on the planet are these. In third, joint third, is tobacco and alcohol. Second is pharmaceuticals. The first one, you've done it most probably today, and that's sugar. Sugar is now, the World Drug Authority has recently said, sugar is the biggest drug killer on the planet. Child diabetes. You go into any supermarket and ask for a product that isn't fruit and veg, and ask them for it hasn't got sugar or non-fake or fake sugar in it, and you'll see a confused person. This whole, oh, if I take acid, I want to fly, is absolute rubbish. It's a myth. There's no evidence of it at all. No one has ever died of cannabis. Okay? You mix pharmaceuticals with alcohol and you've got more chance of ODing and dying than mainlining heroin. Things can change like that. Honestly to God. I am one who doesn't believe in I believe in using these hallucinogenic drugs. I do. I really do. I have found the magic mushroom type. It's when I used to do magic mushrooms, I had to be outside. They connect you. There's a connection. There's a connection with you and the planet. And I think that's one of the things where we've gone so mad and gone so wrong is we have lost a huge connection with nature. Because nature is you. You are nature. In my faith, nature is God. God is me. God is inside me. I mean, and when I'm out in a woods or a forest or by the sea or by a river, I feel closer. And that is it. That nature connection. I've realised certain things, because I live in this room and I need to get out more. I've come to realise how disconnected I can. And this is what isolation does. This is the doorway to depression, to self-harming, overeating, drinking. And someone said to me about supermarkets. They worked in a supermarket, and I said, you'll see them come in and they're buying their bottle of wine every day, and then suddenly they stop because you now can order your booze, so no one sees what you're going on. The supermarket doesn't go see what's going on. You can have your pharmaceuticals delivered. You know. So yes, I totally agree with the use of magic mushrooms and things like that. We've got to prioritise very soon if we don't, because you are a pound note to this 5 to 7 companies, and I think they are perfectly fine and can be used, and should be used more. And more medical people need to start standing up and saying, you know what, we ain't going to prescribe this drug, because that is a big hoo-ha at the moment that the world medical people are saying, get yourself out in nature. Peace out and have a great day.